Hey guys, please check out laughpdx.com, and if you're interested at all in listening to my music, please check out New Management on Spotify and Apple Music. Upgrades, people, upgrades. Also, thank you for clicking on this video. We really hope that you enjoy episode 7 of the Starving Artist podcast. Hello everybody, welcome back for another episode of Starving Artist. I am Andrew.
And I'm Lucas.
And today we are talking about drugs. And
everybody's favorite.
everybody's favorite drug is I guess if you were to say like the world's favorite drug.
Caffeine.
Caffeine. Yeah, okay. Yes,
totally.
For sure. I mean, you're talking to a guy who literally has like 2 caffeine. And actually my water, I just sprinkle caffeine in it because it keeps me awake.
Mm-hmm. I used to take caffeine pills in high school. And college, which were like, so it's like 200 milligram chunks of caffeine that you could just like pop back. And if you're a fucking sociopath, you can take 2 at a time. But no, I was buying coffee on campus every day, like $4 lattes, because I'm like a basic.
He's rolling in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'm like rolling in that fucking like sound audio tech money. I'm like doing nightly or weekly gigs, and I spend all of it on coffee and tuition. No, but you can buy for like $5. You can buy like 500 tablets of like 200 milligrams each, which is like 2 cups of coffee, roughly.
Yeah, seriously.
So you're good for like a year. I didn't go through them for a long time, but yeah, caffeine for sure, I think, is the world's favorite one. Alcohol after that, which are the boring answers.
Those are the boring. Okay, if you were to say caffeine isn't a drug and technically alcohol isn't a drug, like we're just gonna say that that's not factually true. Whatever.
Nicotine. How about that?
Nicotine. That's also boring because it's tobacco. It's like an old person's drug.
Sure.
I guess some kids are vaping.
I guess I like the old. Yeah, kids love those jewels.
That shit.
I smoke a corncob pipe because I'm 1,000 years old. That's actually true. I have a corncob pipe.
That's awesome.
I smoke it in my backyard.
I'd smoke if I had like a pipe. I would do it. I would smoke if I had a pipe.
I'll get you a pipe.
I think no, because I think you can only smoke out of a pipe if you've got like a full beard. Because I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, okay.
But maybe in a couple years I'll have a pipe.
We'll christen it. We'll get it. Well, you'll have your full beard. I'll grow. I'll get to full length. We'll be all the way there. We'll get some whiskey and smoke pipes. Get you. You would love a Gandalf pipe.
I would really love it. But I have to have the beard. And well, if it's a Gandalf pipe, I need the hat then.
Absolutely.
We should just show up in wizard robe and wizard hats.
I put on my robe and my wizard hat.
my pipe robe. I'm gonna call it my pipe robe. So it's just a robe I wear.
Have you ever seen? It's like this old meme. It's War Lizard, I think. No, not War Lizard. Anyway, it's this like online text forum where the guy's like sexting with this woman on like an old forum, and they get to the end. It's like getting really, really hot and heavy, and then he's like, "Yeah, baby, I put on my robe and my wizard hat." And she's like, "What?" She's like, "I cast level 3 eroticism, rod of the ancients." Like, it's fucking funny. My girlfriend told me that that if I get one, I can wear a wizard hat during sex. So I'm very excited.
That's
to
awesome.
Get a wizard hat. And I am berobed.
That's awesome. I think I need to get one because too often have I woken up and there's other people in my apartment and I'm like,
that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I know.
They're just like people you don't know. They're just like hanging out. They're like, "What's up?
What's up, dude?
Nice junk, Andrew."
Hey, bro. Nice guy.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite.
Do you sleep nude? Do you sleep naked?
I sleep in underwear and sometimes a t-shirt, sometimes not a t-shirt. So here's the thing. I have cats. So if a cat will jump on me in the middle of the night and jump off and use me as a springboard, and they scratch me, so I have to wear a shirt or I'll get scratches all over my like chest and stomach. So, and they scratched me on the face the other day. They like jumped on, scratched me on the face with their like foot and jumped off. And
cats scratch you in the face while you're asleep.
Yeah, they're actually really sweet, but like when I'm sleeping, they're like crackheads and they're just running around and they're just doing shit in the middle of the night. and they're like freaking out, and so
You
I
wake
can't
up.
stop it. Sometimes we have this thing above our bed. It's like the backboard is like 3 feet above our head, and then above that there's like this partial wall that has like a foot and a half until it hits the ceiling opening. So basically, they'll jump onto our our backboard or headboard, and then they'll jump from the headboard onto the half wall or to the semi wall,
Yeah.
partial wall, whatever you want to call it. And then they're like 6 feet above us in the middle of the night, and then they'll just like jump on us and jump off like from 6 feet above, and it like scares you because you wake up to like something falling right above your face. It's
Yeah.
pretty awful. I'll film it one of these nights and like I'll like put it in a cliff and be like, this is what Andrew was talking about. But it's awful. Honestly, it's really
No,
scary.
it's that sounds fucking horrific. It sounds like you're getting like Batman pounced from the top of a building. Like,
Swear to me.
yeah, if you don't wake up every time, you just wake up to like fucking blood seeping into your eyes. Like,
They
that's
just
fucking.
one night they gave me like a gnarly scratch like right next to my eye right here, like on my cheek.
Wow.
And it was pretty like I was pretty pissed. But like what do you do? Like it's already a small apartment. Do I lock them in the bathroom in the middle? Just smack them. I think one time our cats like attack my feet sometimes underneath the blankets. So sometimes like in the middle of the night they'll just like jump on my foot. And one night they scratched me, they jumped on my face, they were keeping me up all night. I was really pissed. They jumped on my foot. So I just did this thing where I was like, I'm gonna just launch her. Like I'm just gonna throw her. And so I did. I just like my foot went like boom, and she flew like 10 feet. She hit like a jacket that was hanging up on a curtain or on a hanger, and just like boom, hit the jacket, fell on the ground. And I was like, you learned your lesson. And then 20 minutes later she did the same fucking thing.
She did not learn the lesson.
There's no winning. There's no, and plus like she doesn't get hurt because cats are like, they don't get hurt like by flying. Like you can throw them, they don't get hurt.
Yeah, they're hellspawn.
Yeah, no. If anybody wants to say that they do get hurt, they don't own cats. But yeah, no. I think in general, I like having cats. I think the hate and love meter is just barely on the side of love. But I don't know. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna not think that.
One of these days you're gonna get.
You got any pets?
You're gonna wake up in the night and just like fucking like
fucking
catch them
grab her.
falling.
She's in the middle
Just
of falling.
Like, no.
You got any pets by any chance?
Yeah. So we have a cat that my roommates have that I live with, named Reese's, because she's all like black and peanut butter. She's
that's cool. That's actually cool.
She's like she's pretty standoffish. She's like, she likes to play games. Like she's like, oh, I'm not paying attention to you. What are you doing? She plays it cool like that.
She's too
and
cool
my girlfriend, she's too cool to learn anything. She doesn't. Anyway, but she started hanging out with me more because my girlfriend moved in. And she fucking immediately let my girlfriend pick her up. It's like, what is that? Come on. I've been with you like 2 fucking years. I've known this cat for like 5 years because it was I knew my roommates before we moved in. She started bribing her with treats. They're food motivated. But my girlfriend moved in and brought a snake. The first thing she did when she moved in was she brought in her snake, put it down on the ground, took it out and fed it a mouse in front of me, which I think is the most metal way to assert dominance in a relationship that you could possibly like have. Like, I'm gonna feed a live animal.
I let nature happen in my home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so. I don't like snakes. They creep me out. And that's another okay. Catnip. That's a drug, right?
Totally, it's a cat drug.
Yeah, it's a cat drug. So like we as a society were like super against weed. Or not like the whole society, but like the law was like we were against weed until like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But like catnip's been a thing for a long time. So we were cool with cats like getting down, but like
cats don't like drive cars though. Like I don't know what I
guess you're right. They are pretty much, they're basically bums, aren't they? Like cats.
Yeah, they're fucking freeloaders. They're just
they don't do shit.
Getting by nothing. Are there dog drugs? Is it just like fresh cut grass?
Everything. I was gonna say everything's probably like way over the top for them anyways, so they don't need to. They don't need to get high. They probably, if they got high, they'd get the paranoia like high. They'd be like paranoid and shit. Like that's how dogs would be.
I know some people feed their dogs weed. Like That is a thing that happens.
I have seen videos on like meme pages where dogs like just start getting all wobbly and start acting all weird and like rubbing on weird things because they're like high, and it's just
Me too, bud. Me too.
me too, buddy. Oh man, you know, obviously I would say okay.
World's favorite drug.
World's favorite drug. I say probably. Obviously, I feel like a go-to would be weed, but I like to say cocaine because there's tons of shit ton of people who do fucking cocaine, and you don't
It's
even
true.
know it. They're just like everyday people. They're just like, oh hey, you know your neighbor? Hey, you viewer, you know your neighbor? They do cocaine, or at least
Yeah.
they did in college.
Both
So
neighbors
yeah,
on
both
either
all
side
your
of you.
neighbors, all of your
Hmm.
neighbors did it. You're the only one that doesn't do it.
Yeah, you should move. Honestly.
Yeah, you should move. There's a lot of red dots in your neighborhood. And
Oh,
he's,
there's this Anthony Jeselnik joke. It's so fucking funny.
oh yes,
He
I
goes
think
like,
I know.
yeah, you know the one. It goes.
Uh,
I'm gonna tell it now because I backed
yeah.
out. But and he hates people telling his jokes, but he's fucking literally never gonna see this shit. And it's worth it because he says, "Have you ever looked at that online service where you can see all the child molesters in your area? They show up as little red dots on the map." I looked it up, and there were 75 of them in a 3-mile radius. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it fucked up how we always have to meet at my place?
I love that, dude. He just puts a
It's so
spin
fucking
on
good.
fucking everything. I love
He
it.
does.
I think it's so good.
Yeah.
Man,
He
I think
his writing process, I think he's talked about it. Sometimes, obviously, he writes everything different, but he like will think about he'll like lay it out in the expected way and then just like think about the way to twist it exactly like right at the end. So like he lays it out expectedly. He starts with the premise and then
of like a
twist
funny
it.
premise, and then he goes, "Okay, how am I gonna make this reveal itself at the very end?" Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's really good. I think.
Cocaine. Cocaine's a
Cocaine.
solid choice. Doing comedy, I've heard a lot of comedians talk about how much they miss cocaine in the pandemic. They're like, I can't.
Is it harder to get cocaine in a pandemic?
No, just you can't share Coke straws. Like, for some
Yeah.
reason, people are like putting hand sanitizer on the toilets before they fucking like do Coke off of them and shit like that. No,
Well, then you're
it's
getting crossfaded, right? Alcohol and drugs.
probably. Are you fucking drinking toilet hooch?
No, but you're snorting alcohol. You still get drunk, right? I'm just kidding, dude.
I've
I
never
don't know.
snorted alcohol in my life. I'm about to try it now.
Fuck,
I don't
that's
even
good.
know what would you snort, like Kahlua? Like that wouldn't.
I'm gonna throw up. No, it's
Yeah.
like, I was just making that shit up. I don't fucking know. I do it the normal way, where I just drink the alcohol that I'm given
Yeah.
from typically a bottle or a can, and that is the vanilla way to do drugs or
The
drink
vanilla
alcohol.
drugs. Yeah.
Oh,
You mix it with vanilla Coke and then
it was my girlfriend's 21st birthday the other day, and we weren't doing like a big party. Like we had a few friends over, or they didn't even come over to our place because we can't have people over here. But we went to another place. I can't remember where it was at, but we went to another place, and there was just like maybe 8 of us. Like that was all it was. It was just a small little hangout, small little meetup, and I actually thought there was only gonna be 4 or 5 of us, and then so and so was bringing a friend, and so was bringing a boyfriend, and so was bringing another friend. So it's like, oh, okay, it ended up being 8 people, and they were like, "Hey, so we got Michaela a keg," and I was like, "The fuck? What are you
Nice.
talking about?" And by the way, these 2 people that were talking to me are 19 years old. Both of them are 19, and I'm like,
Resourceful.
"How the fuck
little
did you get a
buggers.
keg?" Also,
Yeah.
do you have like, are you gonna tap it? Like how do you, because you could just get a cake but you can't use it if you don't have the right stuff. Like I'm like sitting here and I'm like, dude, why are, oh, and we're going to like a nice house. I think we're going to like my uncle's house or something. And like I was like, why the fuck are we gonna get a keg at my uncle's house? Like we're just hanging out. It's 8 people. Why do you need a keg? Like you
Come
get a
on.
24 pack and couldn't even finish. And kegs are expensive. I was freaking out. I was like, why did you get a keg? What's wrong with you? We aren't gonna do that. What the hell? It's not like that. What are you doing? You're gonna get us in trouble. I was like freaking out. And then she was like, dude, I said cake. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I
How are you
was like,
gonna tap that cake? Answer
yeah.
me.
It's like, do you even know how to frost a cake? No, I was like, I was really like, really freaking out because I was thinking it was gonna just be like a chill hangout, and all of a sudden it's turning into
Hmm.
like a party, and
Hmm.
I'm like
8 turns
looking
into
at
16, and you're like, oh shit.
yeah, and I'm looking at two 19-year-olds. Like, how the fuck did you get a keg? Like that was my big freak out, and it took me a minute too because then they were like, Andrew, it's a cake. Because Michaela, my girlfriend, was just like right over there, and they didn't want her to hear. And I was like, I was like ruining it. I was like, the fuck. I was like, yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Um,
Mikhail's all happy because she thinks she's getting a keg. She's like, "Oh, I got a keg. Nice. This is gonna
you're
be
gonna do a
fun."
cake stand today. Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
I've never done a keg stand.
Have you ever
It's
done
on
like a
it's
beer
on the
bong?
list. Yes, I think. Yeah, the memories are fuzzy. I will say.
I think every time I do a beer bong, because what? So some people will do just like one beer can. Some people will do like one, and then they'll like cork it at the bottom so that it doesn't come out, and then they'll pour one, and then they'll have another one. So as you're drinking one, they're pouring the next one. So you're actually downing like two beers like that.
Yeah,
That feels like drowning. Um,
in the good way,
in
right?
in piss flavored water. Yeah, it feels like drowning, and it's not as fun as you'd think. Because in the middle of like trying to not embarrass yourself in front of your friends, you're just sitting here and your little part of your brain's like, we're gonna fucking die, we're gonna fucking die. I'm dying right now. Um, yeah. That was supposed to sound like I'm underwater. I don't know if it's gonna end up sounding like that, but
Sounds
uh,
like you're gonna fucking die
it
every
sounds
time.
like I'm gonna fucking die. Um,
Yeah,
but
gonna
no, I
beer
think
bong a bottle of Jameson. Just fucking. At least it won't taste like piss.
I've never drank Jameson yet. I've heard it in a
I've
lot of
only snorted
songs.
it personally.
I've only snorted it first. It's better that way. It gets you higher faster. No, but what's one thing that you want to do like before you log off for the last time? What's like one like some people say like DMT is the one. Some people say shrooms is the one. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I'm scared of psychedelics because I'm scared of my own brain right now. I'm scared of logging off. I feel like every time I'm having an existential crisis. And do you ever play World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I have a little bit.
It's like you're logging out and it's like 60 seconds and your character like sits down and it's counting down. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna be done for the day. I'm gonna be done for the day. And you get to like 10 seconds, you're like, well, I do have daily quests to do. I got laundry. I got shit. Do I have something to live for? And then you press the cancel button really quick. And it's like, God damn. So I feel, to answer your question, maybe shrooms, maybe
That's the
shrooms.
simple answer is maybe shrooms.
Yeah, because it's like it's natural. That's what they
It's
all
more
say,
natural,
right?
I guess. I don't know.
Psilocybin. People have been popping shrooms for a long time, like a
Yeah.
long ass time. Um, but I am scared of my own brain. DMT. I thought I wanted to do DMT for a while, but I don't think I want to meet with intergalactic elf people or whatever. Like
Yeah. I
I don't.
think
What am I gonna say to them? I don't think I have anything worthwhile saying on Twitter. Did you fucking rip your fucking boom arm out?
I think sorry, I didn't mean to break the fourth wall.
It's
Um
okay. Fucking like
no,
coming
but what
at
were you
you.
saying
Whoop.
about DMT?
Yeah, I don't even have anything worthwhile like saying on social media, like let alone talking to interdimensional beings. Like what am I gonna say? Like, hey, what's up, guys?
Sup, dudes?
I have a podcast, Starving Artists.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, giant godlike praying mantis, come check out my podcast where we talk
yeah.
about very trivial things. Apparently,
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, how many eyes do you have? Like,
he's like too many. This is a very inefficient way of talking. I think anything that messes with your brain is scary. Plus, like, okay, so what's scary for me is because I haven't ever done shrooms, never done DMT. Sorry, guys.
an acid.
And acid, I've not done acid. I have, sorry, mom, but I have done something, and I
Your
don't know what
mom
it
wanted you to
was.
do acid so bad.
Um,
It's like,
I have done something, but I
What was
don't
it?
know what it was, and it was a
Oh
horrible
shit.
experience. But it was like what I've been told from other people is that it really depends on like your mood, and that like and that and I am my own worst enemy because I self sabotage like way too. So I was just telling you about this. Okay, so there's this thing going around where I saw it on like a Reddit post, and it was basically just talking about that if you put golf balls, cut golf ball in half, put them over your eyes, tape them, you put on a bright red light, and you put headphones on that are soundproof and or sound canceling, and then you put like static, and you put it pretty loud right in front of a really bright red light, and this is supposed to make you hallucinate. And I was like, okay, the post said that. Let me read the comments because there was like thousands of comments, and I read through like a lot of them. I read hundreds of comments. A lot of them said like, I don't know if this works or not, but I'm gonna try it. And then I read a couple dozen people who said that they did do it, and all of them, all of the ones that said they did it, said that they did hallucinate all the way from like one person said he heard a voice to
That's
the
danger
next.
level shit right there.
Yeah, someone said they heard a voice all the way to like another person said that they saw a truck coming at them and then they like freaked out
Damn.
and they like thought they were about to get hit by a truck. And but those people said that it took like 15 to 30 minutes, and then they did that, and then usually after they got scared they just went out of it. And in my head I'm thinking nobody's ever like stuck around like while you're tripping, like keep tripping, like, right. So I did it, and I put golf ball things over my eyes. I cut them in half and I put them over my eyes, and I didn't have a bright red light, but what I did was is I took my two monitors that I have in front of me and I put like bright red on the screens, and I turned off all the lights in the whole apartment. And this one, this bright light, I put like a red sheet over it, so it just helped with the red. I don't think the red was bright enough. I think that's probably what messed it up. But I had static, put the golf balls over my eyes, and I just waited. And I will say this: I
Yeah,
had a
what happened?
timer, and I put a timer on to see how long I could do it for because I only had about 2 hours, and I wanted to see if this would even work. Um, I heard voices. Couldn't just tell what they
Whoa.
were saying, but it sounded like, honestly, it sounded like a girl. Um, and I thought it was like my girlfriend, which is why like I took my headphone off and I listened, and I was like, oh no, my girlfriend's not in the apartment. She's working. Oh, okay. I put the headphone back on, and and then I waited, and that was like after like 10 minutes. And then I waited like another 10, or no, that was after like, yeah, it was like after about 15 minutes. But I'll say this: I did hear, and it sounded like, and I even felt like someone was walking behind me. Like, you know, when someone walks behind you, you can feel like the floor like shift and like the weight. It just feels weird.
Sure.
And you hear,
Yeah.
like, I heard someone walk behind me, but I knew I was tripping. So I was trying not to get scared. Um, and that was probably the most that was probably the most I heard was voices a little bit and then walking behind me. But here's the thing: I felt like I did it for like an hour, and I started getting a really bad headache because it's really loud static in your ears and you got like these things on your eyes. I started getting a really bad headache, and so I took them off, and I was like, man, like my girlfriend was supposed to work until 11. I started doing this at like 9, and so I was like, oh, I only got 2 hours. And then I was like, oh man, I really wanted to like watch TV before she got off work. So I was like, oh man, I was kind of upset that like I just spent an hour and a half doing that. She's about to get off work pretty soon. And I go down and I look at my phone, and it's only been like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it felt like it, for me, I don't know if other people are going to do this. I have not done enough research on this like little thing, but it felt like to me that it was like an hour to an hour and a half, but it was only 15 minutes.
Time
Um,
dilation.
yeah, it was really weird. I think that it's a good way to like try to like think about things because you can kind of clear your mind of distractions like sensory deprivation. You can't see anything, you can't hear anything, no one's around you, like you're private as you can get with your thoughts. But I think that my thing was the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, don't think about scary shark demons. Like, don't think about that. Like, and like
Yeah.
my brain would be like, Andrew, you know what's really fucked up? Goats with human bodies. And I'm like, fuck, why am I thinking
Ugh.
about really scary things? Like, I'm like sitting here trying to be vulnerable, like mentally, and
Yeah.
my brain wants to fuck it up for me because he thinks it's funny. And I'm like, that's not funny, man. It goes from
Dude,
being funny to not funny really fast.
that's I had a buddy tell me something. I was explaining, this was like right in the midst of like a existential crisis. I was explaining it to him and he was like, God probably has the best sense of humor because he can see everything's perspective and it's always funny to somebody. So like you freaking out with ping pong balls over your eyes and red lights being like, the fucking goats have fingers. Like that shit just fucking laughing his ass off. Like if he has an ass.
God definitely has an ass.
Yeah, God's got a fat dumpy for sure.
Yeah,
That's...
Dad's got it. Dad. I said dad.
Did I say dad?
I said God. I think I messed up. I'm the one that messed up. But someone thought about their dad here, and
I might have. Somebody thought about their dad's dumpy. Might have been.
God's got a booty.
Have you ever seen your dad naked? It was once. He was like in Sasquatch pose, like walking.
You saw my dad naked?
I saw your dad naked. Yeah, it was great. He was smoking a cigarette, laying back in bed, and he was like, "That was great."
I remember being a kid, like 2 years old or something, and like taking a shower with my dad because like he was trying to teach me, like, not like with my dad, but like he was like trying to teach me like how to wash my hair. And I was like a really little kid, and
yeah, I showered with my dad.
And I think I don't remember it, but I think I remember like parts of it. I think I blocked out most of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, what's that? Just to fucking ruin his day.
Yeah. I remember doing fucking like a tiny, like a speed bag. Fucking, no, I remember that shit. You had to like learn. They were like, "You're too old for baths," and you're like, "I'm too." It's time to learn to shower like a man. Like cold showers and wash away your sadness in the mornings.
Hot water heater is for boys. Get that shit out of here. That
Absolutely.
weak beta male hot shower shit.
I take like showers straight up the middle because I have no I have nothing. I have no wherewithal for fucking hot water.
You don't have any hot water in your place?
No, I have bitch skin. I can't. I just don't.
It's too
I don't like it too hot. Yeah, I don't like it too cold. I'm just straight up the middle.
Oh man, I think I go like, if right where the line of like too hot is, go like a centimeter below it. That's where I'm at. I go right till it like kind of burns just a little bit.
Yeah, no.
But then again, I hate cold. I hate being cold. I'm never cold too often. I've got an extra layer. I've got an extra winter coat on, literally, but also like physically, I got an extra winter coat on. So I don't get I don't get cold very often. I'm used to just being hot all the time. So I don't ever get cold. But when I do get cold, I'm a little baby. I'm a little bitch baby, and I fucking hate being cold.
I kind of like it. I like getting little shakes and shivers.
Little
like,
shakes and shivers. When you sleep, does it got to be cold?
It doesn't have to be. I can sleep pretty much in whatever,
Would you rather sleep in like a freezing cold room, or would you rather sleep in like a sweaty hot room?
Do I have like a blanket?
Yes.
Freezing cold.
But not enough blankets.
Not
you
enough.
Get one little tiny like newspaper blanket.
Newspaper blanket?
Yeah, like,
damn.
Like you're at a friend's house, they passed out. You don't know where the blankets are, but you gotta sleep on the couch, and it gets really cold at 2 a.m. You're at Nathan's house.
Yeah.
But his mom hid all the blankets like right before we came over.
Mm-hmm. She's just fucking laughing. She's like,
Nathan, okay. All of the houses that he's ever lived in growing up, because I've known him since he's moved into like 4 houses because he lived at one place for like 6 months. And every single house that I ever stayed at, which I think is 3 or 4, every single one at like 1 a.m, it would get so cold. Like shivering, can't move cold, like freezing. And he was always really good about getting extra blankets. But like my house never got like that cold in the middle of the night. And other friends' houses never got that cold in the middle of the night. His house would, all of his houses have always just got so cold in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is.
Dude, you gotta save money on a thermostat.
You know, that's probably what
Fucking
they did is they probably just
turn
turned
it
the heater
down
off at night because it saves money. And that's probably the
10
smart thing to
degrees.
do. I think I probably will do that. My
That's why they
apartment
got a
gets
big
pretty
old
cold in the middle of
house.
the night. My apartment gets cold in the middle of the night.
Well,
Yeah.
they heat the building below you, right?
Yeah, and heat rises. So you'd
That's the
think,
science.
yeah, you'd think, but I don't know. It gets cold in here. But crap. No, I think as a general rule of thumb, it's always got to be cold with a blanket, and for me, it's got to be like a thin blanket. I can't do like really. If I'm sweating, if I'm even hot when I try to go to sleep, I won't be able to sleep. I hate sweating when I try to go to sleep. Hate it. So, and my girlfriend's a freaking radiator. She gets way too hot, and I have to. And she likes to do this thing where she has like an arm on me or a leg on me, and I'm
Yeah.
always like, "Get away!" Like, dude, you're so warm. Like, I want to. Yeah, no, I need it. I'm
It's
gonna.
always the struggle where you're like, I'll cuddle with you for like 20 minutes or something,
20
but
minutes.
I gotta sleep at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep with your shit on me. Like, you're too hot. I'm touching you. I can feel your heartbeat. Like, I can't.
I
Gotta
can't do
sleep.
this. No,
Yeah.
I think her and I have this weird routine because I snore pretty loud, and if I fall asleep
Yeah.
before her, she like won't be able to fall asleep because I snore so loud. So she always falls asleep before me, and I have a hard time going to sleep. I don't know if you do. Do you? How long did it take you to fall asleep?
Um, I don't know. Probably under an hour generally. I was smoking a lot of weed until a couple months ago, so I would just be like fucking just
I'm
get
going to
really,
bed.
really high and then just fucking like the time between me falling onto the bed, I was out during the fall.
That's awesome.
But you
I
have a
think
hard time with it?
yeah, I don't know. I always have when I was a little kid. I would put movies on like in my room. I'd put a movie on like a VHS, and I would have the TV, and I would sit on the corner of my bed, and I'd watch like my siblings and my parents. They would all be asleep like halfway into the movie, but I would finish the movie, and then I'd wait around for like, oh, okay, well the movie's over, and it would do that thing where it goes through the whole credits, and at the end it would just go to like static, like it would just like stop, and you're like, oh, okay. And I would turn off the TV and I'd go lay in bed, and it'd be like an hour later and I'm not asleep, so I just put in another movie, and then I would usually fall asleep halfway between the second movie. But as an adult, like it takes me like an hour to 2 hours to fall asleep, like on any given night. Even when I turn the TV off and I turn my phone off, it's like an hour and a half. I don't know. I have a really hard time with it, but I think maybe it's just too hot. Maybe I just get too warm, and that's my problem. I
Maybe
need to.
maybe you need one of those cool mattresses to kind
I
of
think I'm
adjust.
gonna get a queen. I have a full size bed right now, and I always thought a full size bed is so big. It is totally big enough for me. I will never need another bigger bed. And then I saw a queen size bed, and I went, "That's the shit,"
Yeah.
because then
Treat
there's
yourself
plenty of
like the
space.
queen you are, Andrew.
I am. I
Right?
really am, and
You
I think
deserve
I have
it.
enough room for it in my room. So I think I'm gonna make that transition here pretty
Fuck
soon.
yeah. Make it
I think
happen. You can get
it's
farther away from the radiator.
yeah, the radiator. We're just gonna call her the radiator from now on. like the Terminator. I'm just gonna call her the radiator.
Yes.
Oh god,
Damn.
she's
Okay,
gonna
so
kill me.
she's gonna kill you
Yeah,
through
if she hears that I'm
through
calling her the radiator.
the heat death. Yeah.
Oh
It's
man.
gonna cook you alive. So shrooms would be the psychedelic that I would try. You did some Molly something. You fucking
Okay, so it was a psychedelic of some sort, but it didn't affect me the way that other people describe other psychedelics. So I
okay.
don't. It was weird. It was like time was totally different, and I forgot what time it was, and so I got off work at okay. So I worked at Walmart at the time, and I got off at 11 o'clock.
The fucking scourge
And
of humanity. Walmart.
huh?
The scourge of humanity.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking you gave me a bit, by the way, about
Oh,
shopping
really?
cart theory, and I did it. I did it on stage in the context of a joke about Walmart. I said all the people that don't put their shopping carts back when they're done shop at Walmart.
They all shop at Walmart.
Yeah.
Fuck Walmart. That's so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's great.
you were working at the lowest common denominator of humanity.
I probably was. Yeah, I was the shopper. I was the. I used to get the carts at Walmart, and
Oh,
I'd
that's why
be.
that shit hits so hard.
Yeah,
For
that's why it's
anybody
so close to
listening,
home. I used
the
to. I
shopping
worked.
cart theory is that morality of humanity can be boiled down to a very simple task: is do you put the shopping cart back when you are done, like in the corral after you're done shopping, or do you just like fucking fling that shit into the aisle like a son of a bitch?
I just don't. I've seen people, and they're normal looking people. Like they're okay. If it was a disabled person and they're in a handicap parking spot and they leave their cart there, I actually get that because like it's probably hard to walk and all this stuff, whatever. But yeah, I actually find it in myself to excuse that. But there are normal ass people who who are normal, functioning, not handicapped people, and
Yeah.
they will like park their their truck. They'll put the groceries in the back seat, shut the door, and the grocery it's right there. They just leave the car. They'll even like give it a little push, like just away from my car, and then just go away. And it's like, dude, I literally watched you do that. I'm right here. What the
Yeah.
hell? Also, the a lot of cart getters, they have this electric cart pusher that they have now. I didn't have that back then. The Walmart that I worked at, um, it was the Woodland Walmart, and it didn't have that at the time. And well, I think we just got it, but you had to get like a license to use it, and or you had to take like a test and be like approved to use it or some shit.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was like, Andrew, you're only gonna be doing carts for 2 weeks, so we don't want to pay for you to have to do the course and all that stuff to get your license to do this. So I was like, oh, okay, it's only for 2 weeks. Okay, I can deal with it for 2 weeks. So I'm just like literally putting like 10 carts together with a rope, and I'm pushing like all the carts like across. And it was like in the dead. It was like the beginning of summer. It was so hot. I'm sweating, chafing. It was awful. And I could do like 10 at a time, but I would do 20 even though like we weren't allowed to, um,
You
because
bad
fuck
boy,
the
you.
rules. Yeah, the bad boy me with all my upper body strength. Just
Yeah.
it was it was stupid. But and then I remember I was like, hey, I'm only going to do this for 2 weeks. So when am I going to move to my other position at the store? Well, we're waiting to hire another cart pusher because at the moment we haven't had any applications, but we're waiting. We're getting tons of resumes sent to us on Indeed, so we're going to look at that. I'm like, okay. And I worked there for like a month and a half doing the carts, and I was like, 2 weeks my ass. If I knew I was going to be doing it for a month and a half, I would have just gotten the license because it only took like 3 days to do it.
Mhm.
But I would have had to do it on my own time, not work time, and they would have had to pay for it. So it was like a whole stupid thing. But anyways, I worked at Walmart. I got off at 11 o'clock, and I was with another buddy. His name was Nathan, but not the same Nathan. And
For legal purposes.
for legal purposes, his name was Nathan, and um, we we went to a parking lot and hung out.
A different parking lot, not
A
the
different,
Walmart
not
parking lot?
Walmart parking lot. It was a different.
Because
It was
that's
like
where
a,
people go to do drugs.
yes, but when you work at Walmart, you can't be liable, so you got to go to a different. We got to go to the Target parking lot.
Yeah.
The Safeway parking lot, and we went to this, and then we. Anyways, we did. Sorry, mom. We did drugs, and this is really bad, but like I remember being like, I don't really want to do it, but I was obviously peer pressured into doing it. And then I was like, okay. And he was like, oh, this isn't going to hit you for like a few minutes. So you're fine. And I was like, how long does this last? And he's like, usually about like, what do you say? He said it was only like it only lasts like 2 hours. He's like, oh, it'll hit you in a little bit. So by 2 hours, you'll be totally fine. So in my head, I was like, okay, so it'll be like 1 in the morning and then I can go home. So I'll just hang out at his place until 1 in the morning. And then I'll go home. And when you work until 11 and your shift starts at 2, you really don't like care. Like you're like, okay, I'll just sleep in, like whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was at his place, had a couple friends over and stuff. And then all of a sudden I was like, I went outside and I was like, oh my God, it's like so early. Like, I was like, oh my God, like the sun's coming up. Like, I was freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, like I gotta get home. Like, cause at this point, like I was 18 or 19 and my parents, even though they weren't, they didn't like tell me when you're gonna get home. They weren't really strict, but they would do this thing where like if I didn't come home, they'd be like, "Where were you at?" And then I didn't want them to be suspicious of me in any way because like obviously I was breaking a rule like don't do drugs, and so I was
Sure.
doing drugs, and so then
So
I
you're
was
like, I was
like,
at a church lock-in, right?
I was at a church convention on a Friday night, or I guess it was like a Tuesday or some shit. Anyways, I came home. I drove home, which it was like it's like 5 minutes away. His house, no, his house is like 5 minutes away from my house, so it wasn't a big deal. Like I could have walked, but me thinking, oh, it's the morning, like oh my God, I'm going home. So I drove home, and I remember driving home, and then I remember when I got home and I remember being like, "Oh my God, like it's about to be daytime." Like you know that like when it's morning, but the sun's not quite out yet, but it's like about to come up from the sunset and it starts getting brighter.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like it was. And I remember like, oh, the door's locked. Everybody like the doors are locked. Oh, of course. It's like, I don't even know what time it is. My phone's dead. Like my car didn't have a time on it because I had an old radio. They didn't have a clock like thing on it. Or I think the LED was broken on it because I was driving a 1994 Pontiac Grand Prix and the LED light on the clock was out, so I couldn't tell what time it was, or maybe the time was off. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I didn't
Does
know what
not.
time it was, but it does not. But anyways, I got home. I'm trying to remember the story because I haven't thought about it in a while. But
Are you
got home.
still like intoxicated at this point?
At this point, yeah, I've been intoxicated for 4 years. No, just kidding.
Yeah, perpetually.
No, perpetually. No, but it was, yeah, no. So definitely, I'm definitely still out of it, and I didn't know I was out of it. I didn't know. It didn't feel like I was out of it. I felt like I was normal. But what tripped me up was that I got home, and I was like, "Oh my God, what time is it?" And I knocked on the door. My brother answered the door because he was up really late, and I went, "What time is it?" And I went in. I charged my phone and I went to my room. My phone turned on. I looked at it, and it's only been like an hour since like it was like midnight. It was like 12:30, and I was like, oh, I thought it was like 5 in the morning. Like my sense of time was like totally off, and for some reason my phone died, and I just looked outside and I knew it was like 5 o'clock. It was the weirdest thing. Then I
Yeah.
got home and I was like, oh, it's in the middle of the night. And Asher was like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just really tired. I just got off work. I'm gonna go to sleep. And he's like, okay. So I went to bed, but I like couldn't sleep. I just like stayed there and I just watched the sun like come up because at my window you could see like the sun literally rise. And I watched it rise, and then I got up and I went downstairs, and my mom was making scrambled eggs, and I went, okay, I'm fine. And this is kind of like the climactic part of the story. I went to eat, and this is why I don't eat scrambled eggs anymore, actually, because she made scrambled eggs,
Yeah.
and I stabbed it with a fork, and I was looking at it, and I saw it like have arms pull itself up the fork into my mouth.
Wow.
And then when I bit it, I felt a crunch like it was its bones, and I
Oh.
swallowed it. And then I thought I felt like I just killed something. So then I just was like, I'm gonna go back to bed. And then I actually did end up falling asleep a little while later. But that was like my whole experience. And I don't know anything other than what I experienced.
Fucking
And I
murdered some
I
eggs,
told
man.
people about it, and they're like, I don't know what that is. And maybe it was a horrible dream. I don't know. But
You're broken, man. What do you think?
dude, I
You're
don't know.
like- You're like, I have no idea what those psychedelics. It's not
No,
what
it was
you
weird.
You have no idea what it was?
No idea. No
You
idea.
know that guy?
Because
Did he know what it was?
I asked him, and he said it was acid. And I told other people who have done acid multiple times if that was acid, and they're like, that doesn't sound like acid. And I was like, okay, I don't know then, because he says it's that. This is my story. And also the reason why they are like, that's not acid is because he told me, oh, it's going to take about half an hour to kick in, and it's only going to last about an hour. So within 2 hours, you'll be totally fine. Well, they were like, no, acid lasts like 12 hours and you can't go
Yeah.
to sleep. And I didn't know that until I told them the story. And then they were like, that sounds like acid, but what he was telling you it was not acid. And then when I
Sure.
asked him what it was, he was like, it's acid. But so the weird part of the story is that I think I did acid, but I don't think I did acid. I don't know. I could have dreamt it. I
You
could
could
have
have.
done something else and went to sleep and had weird dreams.
And now you can never eat scrambled eggs again.
No, I don't like to eat scrambled eggs because when I eat scrambled eggs, it just makes me uncomfortable. They look gross to me now. They look gross,
No,
especially if you cook them and they're like a little watery. Like it really is gross to me. Um,
it's the tears of the
it's
tiny.
weird, man. I do. Ow, fuck! I just hit myself in the mouth. I think I just do fried eggs and that's about it. But also
Yeah.
apologies to everybody watching this that my hair is all comfooey because I slept like this. I had class and then I did not feel like taking a shower yet because I'm planning on working out later and I don't want to take a shower to work out and then take another shower.
Yeah. The viewers were offended.
They
They
were
could
like,
smell you
Andrew,
through
what
the
the fuck's
cameras.
up with your hair this whole
They were
time?
like, it doesn't matter that Lucas is literally still in his bathrobe. All he
I
did
think
was
it's
wake up.
elegant. I think it's elegant and charming.
Distinguished is what I tell myself
Just
before I fall asleep. And be like, do people really like my bathrobe? I
I
remember
think
there was this time in high school when buddy of mine, Ronnie, you know him,
uh,
his girlfriend was coming over, and we were like, for some reason, she was coming over to pick something up, and we were just like hanging out, and we were like, all right, let's put on bathrobes and get like pipes and put like a globe in the middle of the room. So we were like, doors open. She opened the door, and it's like us, like with like whiskey glasses and pipes, like spinning a globe in like bathrooms in the middle of the room. We're like, oh yes, hello.
oh, hello. Didn't know you were going to be here. Just
Yeah,
like
fancy seeing you here. I was just in my evening wear.
I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, you know what I really want to do? I really want to have like a glass of whiskey because I've never drank a glass of whiskey. I've always done pulls or shots, and I've never like enjoyed whiskey.
This is
And I
an
want,
achievable goal. We can do
yeah,
this
I want
for
to
you.
have yeah, exactly. I want to have a glass with some ice cubes and some whiskey, let it get cold, and sip on it while smoking a cigar with my buddies. I really want
Yeah,
to do that.
it's a good feeling.
I really
Dream
want to
big.
do that, like on a night. So next time we get the boys together, we got to do that.
Yes, we will.
So, but I think I don't know. I think every once in a while, it's a good idea to just lay back, relax, you know. And if it's psychedelics for you, then then sure, maybe
That
doing that
relaxes
is
you.
relaxing. I have heard while we were talking about like psychedelics, DMT. I had a buddy of mine, and I kind of already told you about this, but he told me because I've Googled it because after I heard Joe Rogan talking about it, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard Joe Rogan talking about it, and the way he describes it is this like this experience that's like higher than life. Like you just like totally see yourself on like a totally different perspective and the way he's described it is like you are given this information that's like crazy and you can either accept it or you can put it in the recycle bin and delete it. That's the way he like like literally he said they're like he was using it as like computer terms and he said you can either open the files and look at them or you can delete them and not ever think about it again. And he said that like he did it like 3 times where the end of his trip was like um here is this, take it or leave it, and his choice was to leave it. He's like, no, I don't want that, and then he would end and then he would stop tripping and that would be
Mm.
the end of his trip. um and then he said that one time he said yes, I accept it, and then like ever since then he's had this like he's been wanting to work out, he's been motivated, he's had all these like things, and like I don't want to talk for him and maybe I am remembering this wrong, so please like do your own research, people. But
Research Joe Rogan on your own time.
yeah, please, but not finish this episode, please. But he did this thing where he said that um he had like this enlightenment, and from other people describing it, uh I've read other things where they say the same sort of thing where they have like this big enlightenment. But I had a buddy who told me, and I believe him because he's never lied to me before. I wouldn't. I don't know why he would lie about this. We were just chatting about it, and he said that it's 15 to 45 minutes, which is why I think as scary as DMT is, um, I think I could handle anything for 45 minutes. Think of like the worst thing in the world, but if you knew that like at the end of the 45 minutes everything was going to be fine. Like you could do anything for 45 minutes, right? Like I mean, right? I mean, I don't know, it's
Pretty
just me.
much the
But
worst thing in the world.
yeah, well, yeah, like what's the worst thing in the world?
Having fucking cats jump on my face while I'm
For
sleeping.
45 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
Well, so this guy says that basically he does it and then he trips, and his trip is that like he's in his living room and he says that he feels like he's all of a sudden like in a spaceship and he's like in outer space and he has to help like these aliens. Yeah, oh hey, look at that. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I
You're
didn't learn how to
tripping
do.
right now.
You're in, whoa, and then I start like going down a well and like gravity's all fucked. But he's in space. He has to like people are raiding his ship. He has to fight these aliens. It's like um it's totally trippy. It's totally weird. He straight up is like this crazy like saves the universe adventure. I can't remember it, but the way he describes it was like basically like Star Wars level like feat. And then all of a sudden he just like it's over, and he said it felt like 3 days because he remembers it being 3 days long, and then he just comes back and he's like, oh no, it was 45 minutes or it was like an hour or some crap like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that is a fun, awesome trip. I think for me, I would know that I'm tripping and it would throw me off because I'd be like I'd be like, whoa, we're in a spaceship and there's people raiding the ship and I gotta fight them. Scary clowns everywhere. And I'm like, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. It's fun. We're having fun. Star Wars and Chewbacca's 100 feet tall. Like just like stuff like my brain. I have ADHD, so my brain while I'm talking is able to think of things, and so my brain going 100 miles an hour thinks of scary things really often, and not even just like because I have like an unhealthy brain. It's just like, hey Andrew, wouldn't it be really funny if there were killer clowns everywhere? And then I'd be like, that's not fucking funny. I don't know why you think this is funny. But I think, I don't know, would you be scared to do DMT?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm scared to do shrooms. That's why it's maybe shrooms one day.
Maybe.
I've mentioned this a couple months ago. I had a fucking break with reality, and I was like, no more weed. I'm not drinking coffee anymore. I'm not fucking with my brain chemistry in any way, shape, or form. And so I'm working my way back up to taking drugs from strangers in parking lots. Hope I can get there.
Well, they do say that free drugs doesn't affect you as bad as other things.
Yeah, yeah.
So free drugs is really where it's at.
It's a weight off your mind and your wallet.
I know people who like smoke weed, and like every single time they smoke weed, they get paranoid every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
you gotta stop hitting your mic, man.
dude, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like if somebody's listening with like headphones really loud and just like right in their ears.
No.
I did this one time, and I'll wrap it up after this story, but one time I was like, I'm gonna have a good night. I have 3 albums on a playlist, and I'm gonna listen to these albums all the way through. And that's what I would love to do. I love to get high and listen to music and just like really think deeply about this music. And I was like sitting out on like this porch, and I was watching the sunset. I was super super stoned, and
Yeah.
just listening to this really good music with these great headphones. And it got dark, and then I saw a shooting star. But then my brain was like, hey Andrew, what if that's not a shooting star and that's an alien ship and they're coming for you? But here's the thing, like weed doesn't make you hallucinate, it just makes you like, think about things differently.
Mm.
And I was really scared for a second because I was like, oh shit, aliens are real, and like they're really scary, and they're totally coming after me. And then I saw like another like plane fly by, but it was like one of those like, it's just like, and when you were a kid you were like, it's a UFO, but you're like, no, it's just like a weird different plane. And then I saw one and I was like, oh my god. Or no, I think I saw stars moving, but the stars were moving in a weird way, and I was like, bro, that's a government ship. It just saw me, saw the alien, and they're gonna take me away. And I remember I texted my girlfriend and I was like, if I disappear, I love you.
That's
The fuck
good.
was
Cover
that?
your bases.
Yeah, no, it was really weird.
And
I wasn't like tripping. Like I didn't have like shrooms or acid or anything. It was just weed. But but that was one of the experiences I had. It wasn't even. It was a little scary for a little bit. But I think I fell asleep. Like I was like texted her and then I like fell asleep and then I went back in the apartment when I woke up. And it was just weird. It was really weird.
you ordered Taco Bell.
Yeah, I did. I was like, babe, there's aliens coming to. Are you going to Taco Bell?
Yeah. The aliens are gonna want a Doritos Locos Taco. They want the best. They want the best from humanity.
If they think they would the best, only the best. They wouldn't attack us if they knew how good of our Doritos Locos Tacos were.
Yeah, that's why they're coming here. It wasn't because we developed nuclear weapons. It was because we developed that one special taco they had where the shell was made of fried chicken. Did you remember that?
No, and that sounds like a carotid artery to me.
It was glorious. That taco with the fried chicken shell gave me DMT trips. I saw the fabric of the universe.
Yeah, so you just one bite and you're like, everything is ones and zeros. It's just like I just, oh no, I get bad munchies, dude, to the point where like I have. Oh man, we gotta go, but
we do.
But we do. Okay, guys. Well, we'll probably have another episode where we'll talk about this stuff. And
we'll talk about munchies again. Don't you worry.
This super hot off the press topics are just coming right down the pipe. Just don't you wait, or just you wait. Don't wait. Go to get something else with your short attention span. Yeah. All right, guys.
Well, it's been a good week. I've been Lucas Kubala.
Yeah. Oh, hey, really quick. I know you got to go, but yeah. What has been new in the world of comedy for you? Really quick.
In 1 minute, I hosted a show. You were there. You opened us up with some wonderful music. It went really well, and I didn't freak out. I told my jokes, and everybody else told jokes, and the people liked it, which was great. That was
good. I love going to the comedy stuff, so I'll definitely have to go again. So to more stuff. So that'd be fun. So
laughspdx.com for anybody who's interested.
Oh, you made a website?
Yeah, there's a website. Yeah, LaughsPDX.
How long's the website been up?
A good minute? Months, yeah.
Months? I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm a bad friend. Okay. Well, yeah, everybody check out Laughs PDX and check out New Management on Spotify. Everybody, thank you for checking out Starving Artists. Have a wonderful day. Hey guys, that was episode 7 of the Starving Artist podcast. We really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and thank you for staying until the end. And then if you're interested, please check out laughpdx.com. Check out all of his projects that he's working on. And please check out New Management on Spotify and Apple Music. We really appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful day.